Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here tonight with Nicole Connor, and we're going to talk a little bit about a community that we're in called the Inner Circle. And we're in this inner circle with Kiwi Whitehead, who is our fearless leader, mentor, and coach. So, Nicole, if you could just give us a little bit of background on yourself, what you do online, all that good stuff.
Oh, sure. Well, thanks for having me on this evening. This is awesome. So I live in California and kind of all over the state as it seems recently. I currently work in property management and I'm at work at the moment. And I do lots of things. I help to coach a social media class called Story Sell with Coach Kiwi, which is amazing. I am a health and wellness coach, which I do that on the side and have a client or two that I work with on a regular basis. And then I'm also a network marketer, which means I market a variety of different products in health and wellness space because that's where it aligns with me. So not one in any particular company, actually represent a few different companies and love what I do. And so I absolutely love and need to have a coach who can kind of guide me along the way on how to create multiple streams of income. And so that's why that's what I do. And that's why I'm here.
Great, great. And you do it also well as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So just going back a little bit, can you tell us how you met Kiwi and how long you've actually worked with her?
Sure. Yeah. So I was introduced to Kiwi from a friend of mine who I was doing a coaching class with. She was doing a health coaching regimen. It was great. And she referred me to her through Facebook. And so I reached out to her and kind of back and forth messenger. And this was, I want to say, going almost 5 years ago now. And so I got started with her just really learning how to use social media. And that's what my attraction was to her, because I had lived in a really small town in the mountains and I had not really a whole lot of access to people. You know what I mean? And it worked out really well during the pandemic. But when I got started, I was just very isolated. So meeting people one-on-one in this rural area was very difficult because I was also the new kid on the block. So I needed to maximize my influence somehow in order to build a network marketing company. So that's how I met her. And that's what we initially got started and focused on, was how to build business online.
Oh, yes. Very good. Yeah. So many of us have. And so how has having Kiwi as your coach, how has that improved your business life?
Oh,
or your business and your life, I guess.
Well,
both all together, the combination.
Excellent question. So I'll answer the business part first. The first piece was just really getting out of my comfort zone. I had to learn how to be online properly without scaring people away. I had to learn how to not only promote product, but also to promote myself as a person and the things that I was interested in. And so initially that really helped me. And I'm a fairly confident person. I can talk you up one side, the other and have a great conversation, but to get online and have some focused content took a lot of time for me to practice and get better at. And I'm still getting better at that. But that is kind of what my initial experience was. And because of that, over time, now it took some time because I had to overcome some obstacles. And so I not only took her social media classes, I also took her breakthrough training class. I took several of her courses, which really helped me to get over some old information like the 4 agreements and several other classes. And then I started with her book club, which was excellent information on how to spiritually grow. And so as I did all of those things, this not only impacted my influence online and helping to build leads and a bigger following and things like that, but interpersonally, it helped me to have more confidence just in relationships with people at work, in my marriage, in my friendships, all of those things. And it really kind of helped me to align with my values and who I wanted in my inner circle, not just her circle, but my circle. And so that has been probably one of the most valuable things that I've come away with, in addition to the community that you mentioned in the beginning. Our CCC community, this community of people has become my rock during the hardest of times that we've gone through over the last few years. And I can't tell you how grateful I am to be a part of that. But over these last few years, getting to know Kiwi as a person, not just as a coach, has been not only really rewarding, but she's now one of those people that if I had a problem, I knew I could call, as a friend, not just as a coach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful for these experiences, and I anticipate, being in her corner ongoing. I don't know if that answers your question.
Absolutely, it does. Yes, you put it most eloquently. I have to say, I totally agree with you on every level there. And Nicole, in our inner circle, one of the things that we get to take advantage of is a one-on-one time with Kiwi.
Mhm.
And so several times a month, we each get a half an hour of her time, undivided attention. And so can you touch on that about what's one thing that you love about being able to meet with Kiwi one-on-one?
One-on-one, as opposed to a group setting, which we also get to participate in and collaborate with, but the one-on-one setting allows me focused attention. So it's evolved over time based on what I am focusing on at the moment or that season. So for example, when I first met her, we were focusing on social media training and really having some, what's the word I want to say? Some hard but necessary conversations about my consistency and things like that. She just is one of those people who's going to hold you accountable. And of course, you have to give her permission to do that, right?
Yeah, you do.
So probably in different seasons of my growth, I've had a more assertive accountability with her. As things have evolved and we've collaborated on a couple of projects together, how we coach together evolved over time because I've grown as a person, she's grown as a person. We're not the same people we were 5 years ago. So as we've both changed over the years, the dynamics of our relationship and coaching has changed. But the one-on-one has always been focused on whatever it is that I need to discuss and or overcome or redirect. And so with her experience, not only watching me grow, change, seeing what my values have changed, things like that, is to redirect and ask more appropriate questions to move me forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you have to allow a person in to your sanctum, right? You have to allow them into your doubts, your fears, your, all that stuff that you hold back there. And then give you an opportunity to recognize that you do have to overcome this thing. And so she gives you space for that.
Mhm.
And my favorite is that look she gets. And she's processing, but she's also like, yep, this is a growth spot for her, and I'm just going to be quiet. Right. So I've come to know her in that way, where it's a signal for me without her having to say anything because I rebel against that. So it's one of those like, I guess I have some thinking to do, or some process I have to go through, or something I have to say, oh, yep, I do suck at that. I'm going to have to get better at that. Or also to recognize that this is a lot of grace. We'll set the bar this high, she'll set it higher. Somewhere in the middle, we might meet, but even if you don't meet the goal at all, there's always grace, there's always love, there's always guidance. And there's also a redirect depending on whatever it is you're going through. So that's a long way to say that I'm just grateful that I'm now in the grooming with her, but
Yep.
still that time is always very valuable.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. So also going along with that, and you mentioned this a little bit ago, you touched on it, that part of our inner circle, we have the opportunity, if we choose, to become a panelist in Kiwi's Rock Success Through Scripture.
Mhm.
And I know how much I personally have loved doing that, being a part of that. Can you tell us, how has being a panelist helped you? How has it been? I guess how has it helped you succeed or grow?
That's a loaded question because the Rock Success Through Scripture is a faith-centered book plan. So we will bring up books that are rooted in Scripture, meaning that the author is practices the faith of, we believe in Jesus. So it practices our faith and applies the principles, godly principles, in the growth of their business. So we've read a variety of different books from a variety of different types of authors, from motivational speakers to pastors. We've hit on just business related type of books, but always comes from the principles and values and morals that we hold dear. And that has attracted a large number of people in our community, not only because we stand on our word, but we stand in integrity in our word. And our group together, and it's fluctuated over the years. I mean, we used to have, this huge number, and it's kind of ebbed and flowed as we've all grown together. And so I guess the answer to that question is, how have I grown, is because I get to hear and listen and see and take value from what is being offered from other people in the panel. Yep. So their perspective on how we've read the same chapter of the same book is so different often from my own. And we've even read books that have challenged me, challenged my perceptions. And I was really uncomfortable in a couple of books that we've read. And I even wanted to just exit the book, stage left, right? But because it was well chosen and chosen by, perhaps a recommendation for one of our fellow group members, we've honored them. You know what I mean? So all in all, over the last few years, and I used to run book clubs myself before I came into this group that were all sort of business books related and personal growth related. So I was used to those groups. But what I love about this being sort of more faith centered is that teaches us how to apply all of these principles from different perspectives into our business, not only online, but in real time. And I'll give you one really good example. We read a book not too long ago that really helped me to focus on my business in the restaurant business during the pandemic. And the principles that were laid out in this book was such perfect God timing that it helped our business to survive the rush of what happened in the very beginning of the pandemic. Did that work with other people? I don't know, but it certainly helped me to know what to focus on during that really tumultuous time. So it's been invaluable to me, not only personally, but just in applying principles in business, which is what the group is for. So,
yeah. Wow, that's a great testimonial to that. And yeah, I agree with you. I love doing the Rock Success through Scripture.
The book was called Soar, by the way.
Oh, Soar. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't in on that one, but I do remember when you guys did that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in closing here, we always have to ask, who would you recommend to take this, or to be part of, I guess, the inner circle, Kibi's personal coaching through the CCC community?
Mm-hmm. I would say that anyone who's resisting coaching needs it. That's first. Secondly, if you're resisting the idea that someone else might be able to offer something to you to help you grow a business because you've been beat up, I don't mean physically. If you've been beat up in the business world, or you've been beat up by, network marketing, or maybe you've lost your confidence and you're really stuck, she's a great place to start, because she baby steps your way into a trust relationship with her. And it always starts with a class, because she wants to see if you're coachable. So hint, hint, if you're not coachable during a class, which is always collaborative back and forth with a coach and other students, and there's always an assignment, if you will, because if you can't be coachable, then why spend the money on her services, because neither one of you are going to be successful at that, and she don't want that either. So my I think I said who should take it. Why is because you have only something to gain. And if you're willing to give it 6 months to a year, which I would recommend at least a year, if you can commit to a year and go through the changes that are necessary for you to help, so that she can coach you through what you want, because it's all about what you want, it's not what she wants. She's going to help you achieve what you want, your goals, right? And she's excellent at that, of pulling it out. And if she can't get it in a one-on-one, she's going to help you do it in a class, in a collaboration. right? So she's very, very smart in how she puts these things together for you to learn to trust her. And once that happens, it's like this wave happens of success, not only in your businesses, which happened for me. Once I got over the hurdle of trust with her, I started to do what she said. And then I had this immediate financial success in my businesses because of that. So that's why I would recommend her, is to give her the time to help you learn to trust her and get past whatever you're stuck with.
Yeah, that's absolutely the truth. And for me, I think the no judgment, there's no judgment there.
That's right.
She's there to serve, and yeah, I can't say enough about it either. All right. So do you have any final thoughts about all of this? Is there anything else at all that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I think I would say that anyone who's been coaching with her for a while, you might realize that you perhaps put her on a pedestal that she doesn't need to be on and never asked to be on, because she's not perfect. But what she is genuine, authentic, and real. And what I love most about her, especially if you're coaching with her to learn about business, is that you can trust that she's doing what she's telling you to do. And not only is she doing it, she's testing and measuring it. So she's doing the work with you. It's not just, hey, go watch some videos that I did 3 years ago, even if they're still applicable. She's still testing and measuring all that. And as technology changes, businesses change, she is a person that is in the field and will continue. And I'm sure at some point, whether she decides to retire someday, is she'll still be in the field. She'll still be testing it. She'll still be telling you, yep, I just did this last week. Here's what I did. See, I told you that I did a thing. Go try it out. I'm telling you, this is how I did it. And this was the results I got. That to me is a key piece of why I think that she holds herself in integrity, and she's relevant today, right now, not some coaches that you might have bought programs with that they, created 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are changing fast. So, and she keeps up for sure. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, she does. Well, Nicole, as always, it's my pleasure to be here with you this evening. Yeah. So, and I'm sure we'll be back chatting soon. So with that, I'm going to let you take off and finish your day up out there in California. And just thank you again.
Bye.